distinctive sense of place, student life, globalization, engagement, all of these four components compose what is ultimately distinctively Dickinson. My name is Bill Durden, and I'm president of Dickinson College and a member of the class of Dickinson 1971. I welcome you to this opportunity to understand what and who Dickinson College is as a top-tier national liberal arts institution in the United States.
I go to Dickinson College in Pennsylvania. I'm proud of it because I know that it's an outstanding education and that it's very prestigious in that sense.
Sense of place is very critical to an understanding of Dickinson College. This college was founded in Carlisle, Pennsylvania because it was at the frontier. Carlisle was a nexus of various peoples traveling always right in the center of activity, intellectual and actual physical movement.
Dickinson history is so important to the college, to its mission, to the students here as well. Dickinson was founded in a revolutionary time. Dickinsonians should be reminded of that, the past that they have to live up to, where they're coming from, and how that's important to where we're going.
President Durden always mentions the revolutionary spirit of Dickinson, and he expects us to have a revolutionary mindset. He expects us to overcome any sort of boundaries and engage the world.
It's a big enough town where you have all of the, regional medical center, a county courthouse, we're close to a state capitol, but small enough where everybody knows each other and can network through each other to get students the kinds of pre-professional experiences they're really interested in.
There's something about the draw of being in nature that I think is really, really attractive to students. It's so relaxing after a week of engaging intellectual activity to just be able to go and be somewhere and engaged in a physical activity or just relaxing. And it's sort of a way to separate yourself from your daily life and reconnect with the things that are really, really important to you.
Dickinson College takes very seriously that we are a residential national liberal arts college. When you come to Dickinson, you don't just check into a room. You check into a community. You check into a group of caring faculty and staff and engaged fellow students who are about the task of realizing one of our original mandates, and that is to develop character, to develop leadership.
You have different lectures and activities. There is a place where you can find yourself.
I live in Goodyear, the campus apartments, the warehouse that was converted into really neat apartments by the school several years ago.
You definitely have diversity of activities, diversity of speakers. There's a diverse student population as well. I've met people from Argentina and Russia and Bulgaria and from different places in the US, and I didn't expect to, see that many different people here. It adds a lot.
It's great to be having students coming from different backgrounds with different experiences. It really enriches the class discussion, and my students have also noticed that.
The Clark Center organizes academic events. Each year we have a series of events on various topics, usually controversial topics.
The outing club will have 2 or 3 trips most weekends. Well, the Appalachian Trail is only about 4 miles from campus. South of town, South Mountain is just this beautiful place. The Michoud State Forest in particular has opportunities for hiking, swimming, backpacking. There's a lot of mountain biking in the Michoud State Forest. There's 4 or 5 outdoor climbing areas.
Globalization is a distinctive defining moment of Dickinson College and contributes to making it distinctively Dickinson. We come by this naturally. Our founder, Dr. Benjamin Rush, advocated with the founding of the college that Americans, students at Dickinson, go overseas and find, experience, engage themselves in the best the world has to offer. And the mandate was to bring that back and contribute that to the leadership our graduates would exhibit in America. We abide by that mandate today.
Engaging the world starts at home. So if you really want to engage the world, you should start by your own community. And the only way that you can do it is by embracing diversity.
When a student arrives at Dickinson, they begin global learning from the time they step foot on the campus, through their interactions with international students, visiting scholars from many different countries overseas, and also, of course, when they study abroad. Right now, Dickinson offers 45 programs in 30 countries on 6 continents.
It was just amazing to be surrounded by basically 5 different continents in one table. We're all there and we all at least speak 2 languages, and we come from a different country that is not the United States. Or even if they do, like they do know something about other cultures.
Globalization is an integral part of who we are. And we engage in globalization because we believe that a graduate of this institution will emerge into leadership in the world because he or she has not only had a grounding in how America works, but also has an understanding, an appreciation, an intense engagement in how the rest of the world works.
I think it's important for every student to be able to go abroad, and you want to be able to experience a different culture, be able to be independent and learn how to exist not just on your own, but in an environment so different from any that you've ever known.
The distinguishing mark now is, have you moved out beyond those primary connected countries of old Europe, as you might say, into those second and third world areas, India, Asia, Africa, and Latin America. And that's one area where Dickinson has just moved forward to give students that extra added opportunity.
Most importantly, we're able to transition what we learned back into the mainstream academic focus and tie it to your major. When you're giving a presentation in a class and suddenly you're tying in personal experiences. This is what I heard when I met the Legislative Council representative in Hong Kong, and this is what she said. It's a wonderful part about our Dickinson education, the way it is the student's responsibility to find something that you're passionate about and dig as deep as you want.
That useful, very useful aspects of the curriculum, not in the sense of vocational education, but in the sense of a liberal education, dedicated to usefulness later in society, is a very distinctive element.
One of the most useful things that Dickinson really teaches you is you're really encouraged to be creative, but at the same time you're encouraged to be the type of person, not just an idea person, the type of person who is logistical, who can execute your creativity, who can put it to good use.
Dickinson is that kind of place. We can sit down, we can work very closely with the students in small groups or even one-on-one, and the professor has the time to talk and work with the student.
At Dickinson, we realize that students really need to be engaged. They need to be energized, they need to be active in their learning. So rather than sitting just passively in a classroom, there's also the opportunity to really use the skills, apply the skills that they've learned.
In the Spanish course that I'm taking now, Spanish for the Healthcare Professions, we did a lot of work with migrant workers in Adams County and just kind of encouraging them to get health care.
You can study one thing and really understand that one thing, but if you can't apply it in the ways that it's really making a difference in the world, it's kind of useless. I find it so much more valuable for me if I can make the connections between things.
It's all about connections. It's all about building bridges between what you're studying in class, your extracurricular activities, your hobbies.
There's definitely a nexus between a lot of my classes. I'll be in my political science, American government class, and he'll talk about philosophy and justice. And in my philosophy course in ethics, all we do is talk about justice. I'm being able to bring things from one class into another.
There's certainly a revolution, I think, that's happening right now in the biological sciences specifically, where we're seeing biology and chemistry integrating with one another and being applied to different fields like psychology or physics. The new science building that's being planned is going to house faculty from multiple departments.
Students really have an opportunity to do their own research here, have their opportunity to be really independent with what they're excited about.
We don't want students to just learn the information. We want them to be equipped to contribute to the body of knowledge.
Dickinson is not just 4 years of your life and then you move on. The connectivity between the student to student and faculty to student, alumni to student, we are a community. A great example of that is the Dickinson Works database, a web program where alumni are there to help us in terms of advice for careers and job opportunities, internship opportunities. I'll always be a part of Dickinson.
I've got a student who interned at the White House a couple of years ago, a year and a half ago now, and was hired by the White House after she graduated. And so she's there right now begging me to send her more Dickinson interns because it turns out she's in charge of selecting who gets to intern with the White House right now.
I think when you talk to a Dickinson student, you are seeing a young person who is beginning to possess a voice. But there's this understanding that ideas matter, that ideas are ultimately useful things. It is all a way of gaining confidence in beliefs and ideas to affect the world and to engage the world.
People look back and they say, you know, well, college is the best time of your life. And I think the difference is with a Dickinson student, you'd hear them say, Dickinson was the best time of my life.
Are you coming for an education? You get it here. Are you coming for a cultural experience in America? Come here. Are you coming for an international experience in America? Come here. Are you coming for a good education, for a social experience, to an excellent faculty, to a tolerant community, to a community which welcomes you with open arms, for a community that lets you be what you want to be? This is the place to be at Dickinson College. Welcome to Dickinson.
For which our Father sighed.
People going up those steps include, standing where you are today at their time, a President of the United States, a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States, as well as several Associate Justices, countless members of Congress, CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, diplomats, teachers, professors, writers, doctors, religious leaders, artists, scientists, members of the military, and even, I'm afraid, a few college presidents.